Once you've tasted flight, you will forever walk this earth with your eyes turned skyward, for there you have been, and there you will always long to return. A quote from Leonardo da Vinci. What's up everybody, Restockhand here, back again. Today we're at Jack Brown Seaplane Base, where I'm taking a 2-day training class to get my seaplane rating. I'm super pumped to fly this J3 Cub and have you on board, so let's get flying. Jack Brown Seaplane Base is located in Central Florida, just 3 miles northwest of the city of Winter Haven. Since its opening in 1963, Brown's has trained over 25,000 seaplane pilots from all over the world. The aircraft I'm flying today is 32768 and was manufactured in 1944. My instructor Drew is here to get us acquainted.
So I'll just kind of walk around the airplane real quick. Just a little orientation. So we talked about, fuel tank, all that. All right, so we do have dual controls. So here's your control stick.
Yeah.
Full range of motion. Controls are free and clear. All right, dual throttles. This is full throttle. This is closed throttle.
Copy that.
All right. Carburetor heats up here. We use this for descents. Out is on, in is off. So I'll either say in or off, out or on. You can give me either one. You say carb heat on, carb heat off. That's probably easiest.
Carb heat
off,
on.
or out and in, but then you have to remember which is which. All right, here's our trim. It's this 1963 Chevy window crank.
Yes.
All right, so if you crank it forward like that, if it's coming over the top forward, that's nose down.
Nose down.
Crank it back, that's nose up. It has a little indicator knob up, down. That thing will slide depending on where the tail section's at.
Sure.
Then our fuel shut off, so if it gets hot and glowy up front, like the engine's on fire, we'll want to pull that out. Shuts the fuel off.
Right.
Other than that, we want to keep it on. So here's your altimeter. We operate AGL. So 0 is water, 500 up and down.
Copy that.
All right. Engine oil temperature, engine oil pressure, whiskey compass. You won't see any of these because of my big head. Airspeed, tachometer.
Copy.
So these are the 3 you get. All right. And then our mags are up here, left, right, both. Standard configuration. Here's our intercom system. All right, your volume knobs, the rear knobs, you can adjust that louder, louder as needed. In the very back of the airplane, right behind you, there's a baggage compartment. On the back wall is our airworthiness and our registration, our 2 required documents to fly. Also in there are 2 inflatable life jackets.
2 inflatable life jackets.
So if we run into a situation, maybe we see some girls in bikinis on a boat, we're gonna come down, we're gonna need those to float on.
For sure.
All right. Other than that, we're good to go. The only control that you have in the back that I do not have up front is just below your throttle body, that metal handle. That's your water rudder control.
Okay.
So up and on the hook is water rudder's up. If you take it off all the way down to the floor, just lay it on the floor, so water rudder's down.
Copy.
All right. So once we get started and moving, I'll have you drop those down so we can maneuver.
Okay.
We're going to warm up the airplane. It's going to take us about 5 to 7 minutes. We'll do a quick run up, and then I'll let you know when we get ready to go. So for a cold start, you won't ever have to worry about starting the airplane. We'll handle that for you even on your check ride. Just so you know, it's 2 shots of primer. Whatever you do on the primer, you match on the throttle. So 2 pumps on the throttle. 1, back, 2, back. All right.
All right.
Then we're gonna crack the throttle. And you go mags on both. Here's our master. All it does is engage the battery for the starter. Master's on, and then this button, it is push to start.
All right.
Clear prop. Alrighty, so now we're out here on the water. So this is our idle attitude. So this is idle. You'll also see it called displacement. Alright. Call that we're currently displacing the entire weight of the aircraft with the float pulling. Alright, so just like any other boat out on the water. So as you look, if you take a look out the wing line, what you'll see versus the wing line versus the water line. On the water, we do sit with a nose-high attitude, very similar to how a Cub would sit on a tail wheel. Alright. Out the front of the airplane, you can see, what you can't see is the water line. So it intersects the front cowling. So again, we've got different markings like these screws or holes on the front cowling.
Sure.
So if you could, pick one of those that lines up with where that water line intersects.
All
right. That'll give you a good visual reference, because this, being our idle attitude, is also the same as our step attitude. It's also going to be the minimum nose-high attitude we want for our landings.
Okay.
Various landings. This is the same attitude that we're going to come back to when we set up for a glassy water landing.
All right.
All right, so that's kind of what we're looking for. So now you can see with our water rudders down, we're very maneuverable on the water.
Right.
So you're already pretty familiar with the water, but we'll take a look. You can see the waves working their way down. They're all the way to the shoreline there.
Yep.
And they're coming in from our left side. So we know we're kind of on the downwind side of the lake, and right now we're traveling crosswind.
Correct.
All right. So go ahead and get a feel for your rudder pedals are right here. Just go ahead and get a good hold on those and get a feel for the airplane, how it taxis with the water rudders down. It takes a lot of pressure, so you can really push on it.
Copy that.
Just like a regular nose wheel airplane, it takes deliberate pressure and it's a little slow to react. All right, and we got a whole lake here, so you feel free to make turns, left, right, 180s, 360s, whatever you want to do. Mostly just get comfortable with the reaction time of the airplane, so that as we come back, when we go to dock or park the airplane, we kind of can get a good understanding of how far our spacing needs to be, or when we need to react to make changes.
And now with the control stick, with the wind coming from our left, would you want to turn into it?
Yeah, it's not a major factor on the water. However, you always want to be on top of your aileron controls. So what we do is we taxi with the stick fullback. We try and keep that stick fullback at all times when we're on the water. Again, it keeps the fronts of the floats up, keeps the prop away from the water. Also, should we get hit by a wind gust or maybe inadvertently accelerate the airplane, well, we'd want that stick all the way back to protect the nose of the airplane.
Right.
Now, if the wind is in front of our wings, from on our nose all the way up to 90 degrees, we want ailerons into the wind.
Right.
But then as we turn, let's make a right turn. As we shift and the wind comes behind our wing, we want to shift to opposite the wind, because that down aileron then makes a ramp for the wind, pushes it up over the wing.
All right.
Then once we're true downwind, we can neutralize, because then we'll shift, now we're the other way, so it's off behind our right wing.
All right. And you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you perfect.
Perfect. So that's our normal inputs. Now, looking at the wind, as we talked about earlier, well, we kind of get an idea of where the wind is coming from. But what we're going to do, let's make a left turn until we're, let's say, 90 degrees crosswind, give or take. And you just kind of have to estimate based on what you see the waves coming into the airplane,
right,
and the little ripples on the water. But now that we're here crosswind,
yeah,
go ahead and pull up our water rudders, please.
All right, 1 second. Go ahead, water rudders are up.
All right, now see how we immediately start a turn to the right.
Oh yeah.
Even if we push full left rudder, we cannot stop the airplane
I'm full left rudder.
from turning. So let's just neutralize, so stick centered but back, rudder's neutral. This is weather vaning.
All right.
So this is the airplane's tendency to point us right into the wind.
Nice.
Takes all the guesswork out for us.
It does.
It's going to show us. Now up front, we can pick a heading. It doesn't have to be, spot on.
All right.
So I'd say it kind of looks like the wind's maybe come from that house with the white roof. Makes
Right.
it easy to see.
It does.
So that will help us maintain our heading. Again, associating that wind direction with a visual reference
Copy that.
makes it much easier to stay consistent.
Yes.
All right. So now we're starting to get a reading on our engine temperature.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and do a run up and a mag check.
Okay.
All right. Then we'll put the rudders back down, reposition for a takeoff.
Okay.
All right. So for a run up, well, just like a takeoff, we're going to accelerate the airplane. We don't have any brakes, so we can't sit still.
Okay.
All right. So it's a run up on the go.
Okay.
So our car's checklist is how we start out. So carburetor heat is off. Off. We want it all the way in.
Okay.
Full off, just like a takeoff.
Okay.
All right. So carb heat's off. Our area is clear. We've got one boat, 11 o'clock, no factor.
All right.
All right. Our rudders are currently up, and our stick is full back. That's C-A-R-S. All right. So what I'm going to do is accelerate to 1,700, 1,700 RPM.
Yep.
And then up here, we're going to cycle both of our mags,
Okay.
looking for that small drop, no more than 150 RPM.
Okay.
All right. Once those are good, keeping it up, then we're going to apply carburetor heat. Check for that small drop, comes back to normal, and then reduce to full idle. And at full idle with carburetor heat on, as long as the engine stays running, it's a good idle.
Yeah, it's a good item.
All right. So our area is still clear. Here we go, 1,700. Just nice and easy on the throttle. Again, it is a very sensitive throttle.
Right.
There we go. All right, so I'm going to go 2 clicks over. There's my drop. 2 clicks back. 1 click over. Small drop. 1 click back. And then carburetor heat coming on. Very small drop. Back to normal. All the way to idle. and we get a good idle. So we can go back, carburetor heat off. Let's go ahead and drop those water rudders, please.
Water rudders drop.
Alright, we're going to make a right turn 180. Now we're going to go back downwind to get in position. We want maximum runway. And again, our heading is going to be toward the
White house.
House with the white roof.
White roof. Oh, dreams coming true today, boy.
Right on, right on. Alright. So an important part of just kind of understanding what we're doing, why we're here, we call it, we're going to develop what we call a plan of action.
Okay.
So it's just kind of what we're doing keeps us both on the same page.
Roger.
Alright. So as we go around, one important thing is positive exchange of controls. You'll be familiar with that, but anytime that I'm flying the airplane or want control of it, I will say that it's my flight controls.
Your flight control.
Alright, I'll usually give the stick a little wiggle so you can feel me on it.
Right on.
Alright, let you know. If at any point I want you to demonstrate something or I want you to fly, I'll let you know you have the flight controls. Then you'll reply, verify that you do in fact have them.
Okay.
And then I'll turn it over to you.
My airplane.
Yep, they're just like that. Alright, so what we're going to do for now, I'll have the flight controls. And our plan of action is I will demonstrate for you a normal takeoff here out of Lake Jessie. I'll talk you through our attitudes and what I'm doing with the airplane. Alright, we're going to make a right turn away from the airport, all the way around to the north, and we're going to travel north until we're clear of the airport area. Take you up to our training area, and then once we're clear and level at 500 feet, I'll hand the airplane over to you. We'll continue north out of the 5-mile range of the airport, and then from there we'll do a little bit of air work, just get you doing some turns, some stalls, get you really comfortable, get you a feel for the airplane, how it handles. Alright, we'll be right next to a lake as we do that, and then once we're comfortable, again, I'll take the flight controls, show you a normal traffic pattern and a normal water landing. So you'll see both a takeoff and a landing. After that, on the water, I'll hand it over to you and just kind of have you copy me, takeoff, pattern, landing, and we'll do that a couple times to get you just really familiar with the airplane, how it handles, and the sight picture, because that's one of the biggest challenges for a lot of people as they transition onto the water. It's because we take away that runway environment. You lose your runway markings, you lose your center line. So we're going to go to the left here, just toward those big trees. But yeah, we take away your runway markings, your center line, that whole environment, so you kind of got to visualize that new landing environment. Pick out your own landing point,
right.
Visualize that lane, and then set up your pattern accordingly. Alright, so as we approach the shoreline here, we're just getting in position for a takeoff. We're giving ourselves the maximum lane or takeoff area back behind us.
Yep.
And we want to take off into the wind. So the easiest way for us to make this turn downwind to upwind and to find the wind direction, just go ahead and pick up those water rudders.
On it. Water rudders are up.
Alright. See, once they come up, I'm going to push just a tad of right rudder. And then as soon as we expose the tail to a crosswind, it's immediately going to start turning. Alright, so we still have the one boat. As we turn, we're clearing the area.
Yep.
So we're going to stay to the right of the boat.
Right.
Alright.
Carb heat off, area clear, water rudder
Up. And the stick is back.
Stick is back.
Alright, again, I have the flight controls. You ready to go?
Yep.
Alright, so as we accelerate, we're looking for 2 rises for the plow. Then relax the pressure to find the step. And then just a degree or so back pressure, kind of the weight of your hand on the stick. And we'll get up and fly.
Alrighty.
Alright, it's going to lift off around 40 indicated.
Copy.
Okay, so here we go. There's our first rise, happens immediately as we increase the power. There's the second rise, a few seconds later. As we relax the back pressure, you can see the attitude comes back to our idle attitude. This is the step. And you can feel if I leave it flat, that little bit of drag up front. Yep. So we want just a little bit of back pressure. There goes our airspeed. Then you feel that little bit of acceleration as we break free of the water. So now we're up and flying. You see as we pitch, this is 60. Not a very rapid climb out in these airplanes. Alright, looking right, we are clear right. And we're going to make a 90-degree right turn. bigger differences between the Piper Cub and, say, a small Cessna is these airplanes are neutrally stable airplanes. So what that means is if I give it a little bit of aileron and I bank the airplane, it wants to stay in that bank until I give it opposite control to come out of it. Whereas a positively stable airplane, if you put it on a bank and then relax, it will level itself or come back to that positive attitude. Alright, so here's 500 feet. We're going to pull back to cruise power. Cruise power is right between 23 and 2400 RPM. The bottom of this green sticker on our tack. Yep. Alright, it's also almost halfway back on the throttle body. Alright, we got one plane on the downwind. There to our 3 o'clock high. Yep, sir. Alright, so we're clear of the traffic pattern. We're up and flying. Looking at the lake down below us, you can see the glassy band of that calm, shiny area of the lake. Yep. And then the wind coming down. You can also see those streaks, light and dark. And sometimes those will be more obvious instead of the lake that you're right over. Right. You can look at lakes in the distance. You can see those a little bit better. Right. Alright, so we're level at 500. We're clear of the Winter Haven Airport. You ready to take the flight controls? Yes, sir. Alright, your airplane. Alright. So what we're going to do is continue to the north. You see this lake just off the left of our nose? Yep. We're going to go up just to the right of that. So that area straight ahead, all that grassy open area, that's our training area. That's our ultimate destination. But on the way out there, just go ahead and get a feel for the airplane. So you can climb, descend, turn, left and right, whatever you want to do. Just get familiar with our flight controls, flying with that stick and rudder. Power back just a hair. Come on, so you can get a little nose down trim. Now you'll see in this airplane we don't have an attitude indicator, we don't have a turn coordinator. Alright.
That's what I was trying to get a feel of, like the rudder story.
Yep, so it's all done by feel. Right underneath of us.
Yes, sir.
Once we're past the road, that's kind of like our distance marker.
Okay.
So as we're clear of the road, we're going to go full power and we're going to climb to 1,000 feet.
Okay.
Alright, we can go ahead and start our climb. And you can see without really any back pressure, as you increase the power, the airplane will start a climb on its own.
Yep.
Same thing as we decrease the power. If we get below cruise, the airplane will start a gradual descent on its own. It doesn't take a whole lot of elevator input to get it to climb or descend. A lot of that can be done with the power.
Yeah, the throttle's a little easier than I thought. It's so old, it's pretty smooth.
Oh yeah. We'll level out and bring it back to cruise. See, the top half is really ineffective. You get about halfway back and just to the bottom of the green sticker, so a little bit more. There we go. Alright. So now we'll just get accustomed to kind of maneuvering and turning the airplane. So in our pattern, we like nice rectangular patterns. So we make those at a 90-degree turn. Now, can you see the compass very well from where you are?
Not necessarily.
Right, because I'm in front of you blocking it. But again, the compass is just kind of there for backup as a reference. A lot of what we're doing is visual flying.
Sure.
You'll see here a lot of the roads and everything is laid out north-south, east and west. Right. So a very easy way to verify and make a 90-degree turn. Well, before you start, pick something out our left wing. Right. Maybe that large white building in the distance. All right, so let's make a 90-degree turn to the left. We look left, we're clear left.
Look left to the left.
And and then make a 90-degree turn until that building that's on our wing ends up on our nose. Then you can verify that we're 90 degrees. Just like that. Alright, so we'll do the same thing back to the right. So find yourself a reference point. Looks good. Alright, and now we'll have a 90-degree turn to the right. Clear right. Excellent. Alright, so the next thing we'll do is a series of 360-degree turns. This is a good way to show you what happens to the airplane as we bank it. Again, the more we increase our bank, the more we decrease our lift. Alright, so let's do a 360-degree turn. We'll start out to the left. So we've got our water tower on the nose. We'll come all the way back around until the water tower is back on our nose. Alright, we are clear left. So there we go. Now up front you can see the horizon. We know the gas cap is centered in the nose of the airplane, so I kind of lean over and you can see that a little bit more back pressure. See, as we continue to turn, the airplane's going to want to descend or lose altitude. Another thing we want to do is give it just a little bit more power, slightly above cruise, and that helps us maintain that attitude. The water tower coming up. Very nice. Now we'll do the same thing to the right, please. Clear right. Yeah, it gives you a really good view. Right turns are my favorite. Yeah, that's looking good. And we'll keep it coming around. Our water tower's coming up. Excellent job. Alright, now let's make a turn 180 to the left. We'll head back parallel to that large lake. Once we have the lake in sight, I'll have you kind of pick out the wind using our indicators on the water. Very nice.
I like this.
Oh yeah.
This looks cool.
So looking out, you can see
the glass on the far end.
Streaks on the water, the glassy band of the reflective part on the upwind shore. Alright, so now we're into the wind. Yep. Alright, so now what we're going to do is get more familiar with the characteristics of the airplane as it's slow. So we'll do a little bit of slow flight. So I'm going to pull the carburetor heat on. Let's pull the power back to about 1800 RPM. Our target airspeed is 40. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm going to give you a little bit of trim. And as we get slow, it's going to take a little more back pressure to hold our altitude. Alright, so there we go. Now we'll pitch for airspeed, so we're using the pitch on the nose to hold 40. As we descend, we're going to need a little bit of power to hold our altitude. Alright, so this is slow flight. In the slow flight, everything happens in slow motion. So we want to maintain lift on the wings. So as we do these turns, it's going to be mostly rudder. Very shallow bank and very, very slow turns. So we'll start out with a slow turn to the left. And just like that, just kind of drags along. Need a little more power, about 22. Alright, looks good. Now we'll come back to the right. Excellent. So you can see as you get slow, you have less response from your controls. So our stall indicators in the J3 Cub, you'll feel some wing buffeting, which is a shaking of the aircraft. Very mushy or ineffective controls. And our primary indicator is our door. As we fly with it down, you'll see it begin to flap, just like that. So that's what we're looking for. So now we're going to proceed to a power off stall. Alright, so let's work the power all the way back to idle. We've got carburetor heaters on already. We'll just kind of keep increasing that back pressure. See our door flapping?
Yep,
so this is a power off stall. And there's a brake. So as we come down, we lower the nose. And we're going to recover by adding full power. Level flight. Carb heat goes back in. show you easy stall, easy recovery. Alright, now we'll do a takeoff stall or a power on stall. This is to simulate maybe we climb a little too aggressively on our climb out. So let's pitch up and right about there. Kind of hold that pitch attitude. There's 50, 45, 40, 35. And as it starts to roll, our primary input is going to be the rudders. So stay on top of it with the rudder. Just keep working those. And there's our brakes. So we relax, stay at full power, level flight. You'll feel it, you got a little more of a response from the airplane power on because we're accelerating, more of a nose high attitude. Alright, so watch this. I got carbine on, we're going to reduce the power again, go back to a power off stall, but this time, instead of pitching up, we're just going to let the airplane get slow, and this is going to simulate if you get below your best glide. So we're still flying level, we're not really pitched up, but see how our door is already floating?
Yep.
But it still feels like we may be flying, correct?
Right.
So this is what happens. We're only at 47 indicated.
Right.
All right, but we're bleeding off a lot of altitude.
Right.
So as you're on approach, flying any part of your pattern, and you get too slow, I'm going to let it slow down a little more, maybe 40. It's very easy to give away some altitude or lose a lot of your aircraft control.
Yeah.
So let's say now we would turn, you know, we're slow, we're in our best glide, maybe we're downwind, and we're going to turn on our base.
Yeah.
Well, as we go into this turn and we're slow, we're going to lose some lift. See, it starts to brake and we start to lose all that altitude.
Right.
All right. So that's where you're at higher risks for these stalls.
Yeah.
On climb out and then a turn, or on final or base to final making a turn.
Right.
So getting slow and then turning puts you at a much higher risk. It was also a good way for us to get back down to our pattern altitude of 500 feet. So now we're recovered, we're over our lake. Yep. Alright, so I'll go ahead and take the airplane, I have the flight control. But feel free to stay on here with me, kind of feel what I do.
Right.
I'm going to fly a normal traffic pattern around this lake to a normal water landing. Alright, so we're going to clear the area, we're clear to left, push a little rudder, a little stick, and then once we start that turn we can neutralize. And we're clear left, so we're going to turn to an upwind heading. Alright, there we go. So our landing area is going to be directly below us, just to our left. And I'll be making left traffic for this pattern. Standard traffic is always to the left, however, in seaplane operations we can go left or right. There's no specified traffic direction for us. We typically choose our traffic pattern based on which direction will keep us the farthest from terrain, obstacles, and other houses. But here on this lake, you can see it's almost entirely unpopulated. So noise abatement or avoiding other houses and terrain is not a big factor. Alright, so now we're upwind, we're ready to turn our crosswind. I'm going to look left, and we're clear left, 90 degrees to the left. Again, I have a reference point. There's a small house out there, kind of all by itself. As I roll around, put that on the nose, there's my left turn, 90 degrees. Fly along parallel to the lake shore. And as we fly these patterns, we like to try and keep it within glide distance to the water at all times. Alright, so looking left, and I'm clear left, I'm going to turn to the left. Established in our pattern. We're doing our will not, so we know the wind is behind us. We have our lane selected. Noise abatement is no factor. No obstacles on the water and no terrain to be concerned with. We've got a nice long lake here, so I'll say this peninsula that extends will be my landing point. As I come abeam the point, first thing I do, carburetor heat on, and reduce the power to 2,000 RPM. Alright, then I look left, clear left, make my left turn for base. And I gradually let the airplane descend. So there's 400, 350. Roll wings level on base. One last check of my area. area is clear. And I can continue to reduce the power as required. Left turn around for final. And when wings level on final, there's 180 feet, so we're well above 100. Our landing is assured so we can glide to the water, so power comes to idle. And then looking right out in front of the airplane, just going to pick a point. If that point meets the nose, right about there, we'll slowly pull up. And this is our flat attitude. If you take a look at the wing line here, it's fairly level. And as we come down, we're going to gently increase the back pressure to that step attitude. Keep working it back to a 3-point attitude landing. I hold that stick. We never want to release any pressure on the water, but instead we just want to work it all the way back. And pull back stick, any leftover energy, well, we can use that to pitch ourselves up, and that's the closest thing we have to brakes here on the water. I'm going to push some right rudder and turn us to the right. You'll be able to see where we touch down. So our touchdown point's just back there. Plenty of area on the lake. So it doesn't take a whole lot of room to land and stop these airplanes. Alright, so that's your normal traffic pattern and your normal water landing.
Copy that.
Alright, you ready to give it a try?
Sure.
Excellent. Alright, so I'll talk you through it, but you can go ahead and take the flight controls.
My flight controls.
Alright, your airplane.
So it's weather vaning. Do we just want to take off from here? What's the best?
So what we want to do, we've got plenty of area. We want to get back into the wind. So we'll neutralize the rudder. Just kind of center that up.
Okay. Oh, because we want to get back into the wind. You say we got plenty of lake.
Yeah, plenty of runway.
Okay.
We'll help it out to the right a little bit because we've got fairly calm wind. Now if we neutralize it, we've got a crosswind. It's going to turn and it's going to be somewhere over there. There's a little patch of trees that's kind of thicker.
The darker tree?
Yes.
Yep.
So that's going to be, your relative wind.
Alright.
And again, as the airplane finishes weather vaning, it'll point you right into it. Alright, so we'll begin with our CARS checklist.
Yep, carb heat
is off.
Alright, we've got the area clear because we just landed here.
Looks good.
And the rudders are up.
Okay.
Up. And the stick is full back.
Excellent. Alright, so we're ready when you are.
Alright, adding power.
Smoothly increase to full throttle. Second. Now you can begin to relax the back pressure. You don't really want to push the stick forward, just let it out all the way to neutral. You have to step attitude. We give you just a little bit, about a degree right there. Feel the acceleration. And now we're up and flying. Nice job. Alright, so any leftover back pressure, you can relax that, come to neutral stick, and we'll try and climb around 60. As the airplane builds up the speed, it'll begin to climb on its own. Alright, we'll climb to 250 feet, and then we'll make our left turn for a crosswind. We'll make left traffic, come back around, normal landing on the same lake. Looking good. Clear left. Looking good. Just following the edge of the lake. We can look left and we're clear left for the downwind. Nice. Alright, we'll keep climbing, looking for 500, and that's where we'll level off. So there's 5. We can pull the power back to cruise power. Looking good. So again, our wheel knot, we know the wind is behind us. Got our lane. No houses, no boats, and no traffic or terrain. Area is clear. The first thing, carburetor heat on, and 2,000 RPM. Yep, carb heat's on. Alright. Just kind of relax the stick, it'll start its descent, and we can do our left turn for base. Alright, as we roll wings level on base, we get another little reduction in the power, somewhere 16 to 1700 is usually a good good power setting. Looking good. Area is clear to the left. We can go ahead and start our turn on final. We want just kind of a big, shallow turn. Just a little bit of back pressure. There you go. Alright. We can roll wings level. We're at or above 100. And our landing is assured. We go all the way back to idle.
This is our point.
Alright. Alright, there's our round out. Now keep working in that back pressure. So, a little more. Right there. Just like that, as you smoothly increase, we'll find our way to the water. And just keep working it back. See how it pitches us up. That's the come back
Right.
through the plow.
Yeah.
And then all the way back to idle. Excellent job.
Fun.
Yeah, that's your normal water landing.
Pretty normal.
Pretty normal. Alright. So this time, let's make it all you.
Carb off.
Carbeats off.
Alright. We got enough runway.
We do?
Alright. So we're going to do our cars. So carb off.
Yep.
And we have our area clear.
Looks good.
Our rudder is up already. And our stick is full back. Here we go. Full
Alright.
power.
So we'll do another normal, left traffic, and a normal landing. Looking good. Nice job. Clear left. Clear left. Looking good. Carburetor heat is on. Alright, we're looking good.
Alright, our area is clear. Like I said, no houses, no spaces down here to you. Cruising at 60. We have our touchdown point in 9. Still a little high.
Yeah, should just reduce that power a little bit more, maybe 17 to 1800 RPM. Just a little bit of back pressure, there you go. And there's our final. Let's roll wings level. Looks good. Our landing is assured, so we can slowly come to idle. We got our flat attitude. And slowly work in that back pressure. A little bit more. A little more. There you go. Excellent. Buttery smooth.
Alright, good conditions out here.
Oh yeah, nice day for flying.
Fun day. Another one?
Excellent. Yep, let's have another.
End it. Here we go.
Alright, before we go, cars checklist. Yep.
Car P off.
It's off.
Alright, area is clear.
Looks good.
And rotor rudders are up.
Okay.
And our stick is fullback.
Now we're ready.
Here we go.
Let's roll. It does. It makes a big difference.
It does. Alright,
Clear left.
towards the house over there.
Yeah, clear left. WL not, will not.
Will not, WL not.
So the wind from behind us,
Wind behind us.
calm water.
Yep.
Our lane is going to be here down the middle of the lake.
Right.
Alright, the N is noise abatement, so no houses.
Right.
The O is obstacles on the water, no obstacles.
Yep.
And the T is terrain and traffic, so no terrain, no traffic. Our area is clear.
Car beat on.
Carburetor heat is on.
Full power. 3,000.
Very good.
Will not. Wind, better back.
Perfect. Alright, looking good. So let it descend a little bit. Now we're down to the water. Now you can bring in that back pressure. Excellent. Keep working that stick all the way back.
I can do this all day.
Nice job. Well, good news is we are pretty much going to do this all day.
Hell yeah!
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is get you really acquainted with our airplane.
Okay.
Now that you know how it flies, how it handles both climbing, descending, taking off, and landing.
Yep.
We'll get you a feel for the airplane on the water, because that's the most important place. You know, that's what brings us here, is operating on the water. So just like a boat, we can drive these airplanes around on the lake.
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is a little bit of step taxi.
Okay.
This is very practical. Say we wanted to park at that area over there, or there's another area in a boat ramp at the far downwind side of the lake, so maybe we wanted to maneuver down there.
Yeah.
All right, so to get a feel for the step taxi, what we're going to do is treat it just like a normal takeoff. All right, so we're going to be into the wind, and everything's going to go just like a normal takeoff would.
Okay.
First rise, second rise, and as you relax the stick, and you see that attitude that looks just like we see here at idle.
Yep.
Once you see that, we're going to pull the power back directly to 2,000.
Okay.
All right, and then from there we'll be established on the step.
Okay.
And I'll kind of talk you through what it's going to feel like and how we can maneuver the airplane.
Start with your cars.
Yep.
Alright, carb heat on.
Yep, it's off.
Right.
We want it off.
Sorry, carb heat off. Yep, that's right. Area is clear.
Yep.
Alright, we got our water rudders up for this.
Yeah, just like a takeoff.
Alright, and then stick to fullback. Here we go.
Perfect. Ready when you are.
Full throttle. Here we go.
Attitude. So go ahead and relax, you know, just let go of the stick altogether.
Okay. Yep.
You see, the airplane likes to be in this attitude.
Okay.
It doesn't take any input from us. It's very happy to balance on this part of the float.
Alright.
Alright. Now mechanically what we're doing is we're generating a small amount of lift.
Right.
About 30% of the aircraft's weight is supported by the wings. So if we use the ailerons, you can see we can rock it back and forth just a little bit.
Yep.
So with neutral elevator, neutral stick forward and back, our ailerons are going to keep the airplane level.
Right.
Alright. And we can make turns, again, from upwind, crosswind to downwind. We just don't want to turn from the downwind back into the wind.
On the step.
Yep, on the step. So just like we do in the air, just very light rudder pressure. See, this is all it takes to get us to turn.
Right. And a little left aileron, maybe?
Yeah, sure. Just as long as you see a change in attitude up front,
Okay.
just use the stick to keep the airplane level.
Alright, copy that.
Alright, now as we turn, we are generating a little bit of drag. We're also losing that headwind component.
Yes.
So we're adding just a little bit of power.
Okay.
It's about 2,000 RPM into the wind on an average day.
Alright.
It's about 2,100 for turns and for downwind, again on your average day. That keeps us trucking along. Again, just those light rudder pressures. And this is the step taxi. So you can see it's a much quicker, more efficient way for us to maneuver around on lakes.
Yeah.
Get from place to place.
And we have that rudder authority, right?
Exactly. That increased airflow, because we do have, you know, more power. You stick your hand out, you can feel all the airflow coming from the propeller.
Yeah.
And also we are traveling a little faster, so that gives us additional air rudder authority.
That's cool.
Yeah, so this is the best way for us to get from place to place out on the water. Alright, so what we'll do is just continue straight ahead until we're pretty much parallel our landing area that we've been using. That'll be enough room for us to take off, and then we'll reposition for another takeoff. Alright, so anywhere in this part of the lake is a good area. Let's go ahead and bring the power slowly back to idle, and at the same time we'll slowly work the stick back. Just like that. Excellent. And you see, once we come to idle and settle back into the water, the airplane will begin to weather vane. And again, it's going to point us right into our wind.
Okay. Yeah.
Alrighty. So now that you've got a good idea of what the step looks like and feels like, makes it a little easier to find it as we go to our normal takeoff, our normal landing.
And those ripples don't really have an effect on us?
Those are just our waves.
Right.
You'll feel a little rocking, but they're not going to bother the airplane any.
Okay.
Alright, so this time what we'll do, again, we're going to come onto the step, but we're just going to keep it full power. And it's going to be another normal takeoff.
Alright.
Alright, as we come back around, let's do left half again, but we'll extend a little farther down the lake.
Alright.
And then we're going to come in for another normal landing.
Copy that.
Alright, but this time, as we come in and land, we're going to let the airplane come in and touch down. And then instead of working it back to idle, we're going to add a little bit of power, and we're going to transition from our normal water landing onto a step taxi.
Okay.
Okay?
Roger.
That's the plan.
Roger that. My airplane?
Alright, you got the airplane, so car's checklist.
Carb heat is off.
Confirmed.
Alright, area is clear.
Looks good.
Looks good. Alright, we got our water rudders are up. They're up. And our stick is back. We're ready for takeoff.
Excellent. Ready when you are.
Full throttle. Here we go.
Remind me later, I'll show you our data plate on this one. A lot of our planes built 1940. I'm not exactly sure which year this one is.
I've got some old film cameras from that area.
Oh yeah?
I really want to get some film. Like old school film, clear left.
Clear left. Probably hard to come by.
Oh, it's really hard to come by. And I just shot some footage in Cuba.
Oh wow.
Me and my fiance got engaged there. And the footage came out pretty remarkably well. So this was my first time. You can't tell what you're doing.
Oh yeah. Well, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. My grandfather, he had all these old cameras and he passed away and I got them. So I'm trying to revive them. Clear left?
Clear left. Yeah, it's funny how things kind of made it full circle back around.
Oh man, yeah. It's like, I've got people coming out of the woodwork. Oh, you got to use a film camera. It's remarkable.
Yep.
It's like old grinding, like worn out footage and people are enamored by it.
Oh yeah.
Got a big film fits that era.
Exactly.
So to get the film of like us, this is like we're from the 40s. He's got to wear some appropriate clothing, or it's just we pull out our iPad and totally move it.
Yeah.
iPad is probably 8mm footage.
It'd be a lot harder to mount an 8mm camera than it would be to mount a GoPro.
Oh no. I was saying like, just us getting ready.
Yeah. Alright, so quick peek at our altitude.
Yeah. We're just extending it.
Yep. So we'll come around, kind of fly parallel to the downwind edge of the lake as well. That's where we'll set up our base. Alright, so since we're a little high, let's go ahead and do carburetor heat, and we'll go to 2,000, 1900. And just up there to our 11 o'clock, you see that red, white water tide. It's Fantasy of Flight.
Yep.
That's the Aircraft Museum and the world's largest private airplane collection.
Who owns that?
Kermit Weeks.
Don't know. So we're gonna turn left on base.
Looking good.
Kermit Weeks.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, you can
What
look.
did he do?
He was originally from Texas. His parents had a large oil company. He inherited a lot of money. And really passionate about airplanes, especially like World War II and vintage airplanes.
Makes sense.
So he just started collecting and then opened that museum.
Alright. Area's cleared.
Looking good. Alright, so our plan here is come down for a normal water landing.
Alright.
Right, and then transition from that normal water landing onto a step taxi.
Copy that.
Alright. It's looking good. So let it come down a little bit more. There's the water. Now we hold it off. Alright, as we touch down, let's go full power. There's your second rise. So as you relax, there's your attitude. Bring it back to 2,000.
Now we're loose.
Just like that. So, if you wanted to land somewhere and then get to a parking area or just maneuver, you can easily transition just like that.
Pretty easy.
Alright, now from this, our carburetor heats in. Everything else is still the same from our landing. So holding this attitude, let's go full power and we'll transition back to another takeoff. Excellent. So that was just kind of a drawn out touch and go. Right. Well, how about we switch it up? You can land anywhere on this lake you want to. But this time let's come around and make right traffic. Give you a little better view as you set up your pattern, because now you get this nice big door to look out. seeing the small little community right there. As we go out and around it. Closest to real flying that you do. Stick and rudder and visual flying. Yeah. Alright, looking good? Very right. And how about this time, as we come down, we'll make it a full-blown touch and go. So normal landing, touchdown. I'll handle the carburetor heat for you. And then once we've made solid contact with the water, we can go full power. You just want to hold that attitude. Alright. So here's our round out. Looking good. As we settle, work in some of that back pressure a little more. There's the water. Let's go full power. A little bit less back pressure right there. Watch how quick we'll get up and fly. A little more back pressure. There we go. Nice job. There's your full-blown touch and go. Alright. So how about now we'll switch it up. Now that we're familiar turning right, there is another link to our 3 o'clock. So as we come up, you can turn before the lake for left traffic, or you can extend past the lake, set up on the far side of it for right traffic. I'll leave it up to you. Excellent. Alright. So we are clear right. And as we climb out, you see the lake. Another nice long lake here. We'll set up over that lake for another normal water landing, please. As we're flying along and transitioning from here to there, as you look up, you'll see there's a lot more buildup in the atmosphere starting to generate. We're getting these big fluffy clouds. Alright, so eventually they're going to merge together. And they'll create some thunderstorms. Now right now they're out floating well above us. But we want to be mindful of where we are. Alright, so at 500 feet AGL we're in Class Gulf or Class G airspace. Alright, so every airspace carries its own weather minimums. For most controlled airspace, you're probably familiar with 3152 versus 3 statute miles of visibility, 1,000 feet above clouds, 500 feet below clouds, and 2,000 feet between clouds. Here in Class G airspace, our weather minimums are a little less restrictive. This is simply 1 mile, 1 statute mile visibility, and clear of all clouds. So in this J3 Cup, for example, well, as long as we can see a mile, which we can see for many, many miles right now, as long as we're not flying in any clouds, we meet our weather minimum.
So how do you like to handle those noise abatement?
Well, then you can see this, the neighborhood that borders on the water. But just past it, they're much more sparse. So we go just outside that line of houses, and then we have a nice lake over here, and a little clearing to make your approach.
Area looks clear. So real high.
Yep.
Wind right about.
Okay.
Now we got landing. We're going to land without us on our approach.
Plenty of lake.
Plenty of lake. And then we got
We're going around the house. Towers and traffic. So the O is obstacle, think on the water. The T, think for things that doesn't fall. Carburetor heat coming on.
It'll be like a long final.
Yeah, you're looking good. Well, we got plenty of lake here. Let's go ahead and just keep pulling that all the way back. Because we can glide to the water from here, I guarantee it.
I bet you can.
Alright, so this is making a nice smooth glide. Looking good. There you go.
Let it fly herself. There we go. Let's try a point.
Excellent. Fish.
Alright, car P is off now.
It is back off.
And then how would you like to proceed?
Alright, before we get rolling, we'll talk about, now that you're looking good and comfortable on your normal operations, let's talk about our rough water procedure.
Roger.
Alright, so that's the next thing we're going to work on. And rough water, very similar to soft field operations in a tricycle gear airplane. So if you think about what we have in play here, well, we've got our floats, and they do a good job sitting up out of the water, but the water's right there. You can see some of these little waves coming over the nose. So our objective here, especially in rough water with large waves, we want to keep the tips of those floats up.
Okay.
We want to keep our propeller away from all that spray.
Right.
So it's going to be just a little extra back pressure. All right. So we're looking for 5 more degrees on the stick above our step attitude. Also, if your reference point, say this screw head right here, if that lines up with your normal step attitude, what we're looking for is about an inch below that.
Okay.
So about like that. That's where the water line should intersect the cowling for you. So it's just a little extra nose high. Now as we roll, you're going to feel like a little bit of drag.
Right.
Because again, the sweet spot, or where the airplane likes to be, is right there on the step.
Yeah.
So that little bit of back pressure, well, it creates a little extra drag on the back end of the floats. So you do that kind of dragging, that'll turn to bouncing, and then we'll get up and fly.
Right.
As we do that, we are going to take off a little bit slower, slightly below 40. So once we're up and clear the water, we want to gently relax that extra back pressure, let the airplane build up some speed, and it'll climb away nice and happy at 60.
Copy.
We can keep the same pattern, so let's stick to this lake, make right traffic again, looks good, pretty good. As we come down, everything's the same as your normal, but as we come down to the water and do that round out, that flat attitude, we want just a little bump of power, and I'll show you what that looks like. So just on the throttle, nice and easy. As we come up, that first increase will take you right to 1400.
Okay.
So that's about all we want. You can hear that little increase in the RPM, you know, the engine tone winds up just a little bit.
Yep.
That little bit of airflow, and we'll do it again. So sticking your hand out, you can feel, you know, ceiling fans on.
Right.
All right. All we're going to do is turn it from low to high. You can feel as you increase, more airflow.
Yeah.
Shirt starts blowing, hair starts blowing. All that's doing is hitting our tail, our elevator. Gives us a little more stick authority, right?
Yep.
All right. So that's what we're looking for, because our goal here, our main objective, is to land this airplane on this rough water that we're imagining as slowly as possible. So as we come down, a little bit of extra power will help us hold it off the water a little longer. So we're just going to, on this first one, come around. As we come in, round out, flat attitude, a little bit of power. And then as it comes down to the water, think of this first one as a low pass.
Okay.
So we're going to come over the water and just keep it floating as long as you can.
All right.
Eventually it will come in and land.
You want to take off from here?
Yeah, we got plenty of room. So there's a big cluster of trees, kind of all by themselves down there. We'll make that our takeoff heading.
Okay.
All right.
Car P is off.
Is off.
All right. Our area is clear.
Okay.
And our rudders are up.
Looks good.
And then our stick is full back.
All right, we're looking for a rough water takeoff.
There we go.
So let's go full power. Right, so the big thing is just try and stay in this. What you want to do is try and keep your full back against the seat. If you pick up like that, well, your back will leave the seat, but it will distort your visual reference.
Yeah, I've been doing that nonstop, so I'm trying to get better at it.
just kind of mellow, stay seated at all times. You know, we'll get through the Disney ride intro. One boat out on the lake, you'll see them on the far side. So we'll keep an eye on them. Right now they're no factor.
Not a visual.
Good. I keep working that power back because we're nice and high. Alright, we got the landings assured. Go all the way to idle.
Alright, both visualized.
Looking good.
Look for a little bump of power right at the end, huh?
So as we come down, again, you're looking for that point, and just a little higher than normal. So right around here looks good. Come to that flat attitude, that's when we want that little bump. So not quite that much. Yeah, right there is all we need. And now see how long it can keep it from landing.
Alright.
Just going to give you a touch more. So as we come down to the water, you're holding us off, holding us off, holding us off. We're getting slower. Sploosh. There we go. And then as we contact the water, power all the way down.
Idle.
Okay, so that's what we're looking for, is holding off, holding off, holding off.
Yeah. Felt like we were like leaping down a little bit.
Yeah. Alright. So I want you to kind of see that, give it a try. What we'll do now is I'll take the airplane and I'll demonstrate the same thing. So rough water takeoff, right traffic pattern, and rough water landing. And show you kind of, I'll just talk you through what I'm thinking of or looking at in each step. And so what we'll do is we'll come around, I'll see how slow I can get it. We'll hand it over to you. You come around, see how slow you can get it.
Copy that.
All right. So the boats come to a stop. They're off our left, no factor. Plenty of room out in front of us. We're doing a rough water takeoff. So carburetor heat is in, area is clear, rudders are up, and stick is back. All right, here we go, full power. There's my first ride. There's my second ride. As I relax the stick. That's the attitude I want. So if you take kind of a mental snapshot of where the water line cuts through the airplane. I hold it up, you feel that kind of bouncing. Now we're up and flying. I'm going to relax. And it's going to build up some airspeed. And now we're flying away from all that rough water. Now an important thing to note is in actual rough water conditions, well, what's making the water rough in the first place? High wind. Yep. It's also typically quite gusty when that happens. So the airplane's going to be, you know, bouncing on those waves. It's going to be pitching and rolling in that wind. So it's not going to be as smooth and easy to see as we had there on, you know, with calmer water like this. All right, so looks good, looking right, we'll clear right. I don't know what he's going for there. Maybe he's writing us a message.
Right. He's drunk on a lawnmower again. Dad's drunk on a lawnmower. Favorite pastime. You can be drunk for a minute out there. That's a big yard.
He's got a lot of grass to go. beam or point, so carburetor heat comes on, and I'm going to reduce to 2,000. Looking right, clear right for my base.
Lane traffic. Hyper yellow tub on right base.
Now again, we got plenty of room out here, so we'll pull it back. It's just power as needed. Alright, clear on final. No obstacles on the water, nothing to be concerned with. Area is clear, all the way to idle. Alright, we're rolling out on final. Everything's looking good. Coming down to the water. Alright, so right about here, just a little higher than your normal. You can round it out. But then what I do is shift my focus instead of up front, kind of out to the side here, midway between the float and the shoreline on the opposite side of the lake. And as we come down, see how I'm going to let it get right down to the water.
Yep.
And then I'm just trying to make this low pass, hold it off, and just try and get his nose high, and see how we try and touch down right there on the back of the floats, nice and slow.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, that's kind of what we're going for.
Give it a 6.
Fair enough. I take it. All right, you ready to give it a shot?
Tough critics. Yeah, sure. We got enough runway?
We do.
All right. We got cars.
Carb heat is in.
All right. Area clear.
Looks good.
Round runners up.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Full stick. Ah, we got some shit.
Yeah, we'll just hold tight for Speed Racer over there.
Yeah, I see him. Looking for him on the right side. I got him on the right side.
All right, all clear. We'll go just behind him.
There we go. And power on.
Let's go full power. Full power. All right, so there's your second. Looks like a good attitude. And we're up and flying. So let's relax. Yeah, you're good. There's our airspeed. Yeah. Nice job. No, we don't adjust that too much. Once we get it trimmed for straight and level flight, that's about all we need.
Okay.
Because beyond that, you can see you can adjust the pitch almost with power alone.
Right.
That's why I have those power settings.
Okay.
You might need to adjust the trim a little bit as our conditions change. Later this afternoon as it heats up, we may trim it out a little bit more. As you switch and you fly with the Examiner, he's going to be a different weight than me, so it'll feel a little different, so you might need to trim it again for that.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just trim as needed.
Copy. Alright, so carb heat is on.
Carb heat's on.
Alright, we'll go to 2,000. Looks like our base is clear. Our walnut. Winds at our back. Lane. No obstruction.
Area is clear. Clear to land.
Plenty of area, power is needed.
Alright. And yeah, if we had our imaginary radio, it'd be something like Lake Juliana area traffic, Piper Cub, November 32768, turning right base to final landing on Lake Juliana. There's a water slide. That looks fun.
Alright, we're gonna make it.
We can do it, I believe in you. Alright, so rough water landing. So as we come down, we're looking for that flat attitude, a little bit of power, and then as it settles, you're just going to hold it off the water. So just a little less power.
Right.
pretty good. Like 13 to 14 is pretty good, right there. And then as you shift, again, kind of out the side here, you're just looking at that water, so let it come down. Now's when you start holding it off. Alright, looking good.
Float flying.
Nice job.
I'd do it all day. This is the most fun I've ever had. Alright, cool.
Alright. So what we'll do next...
Some fishing?
We could. Did you bring a pole?
I didn't.
Dang it. Some pocket fisherman when you need it. Alright. Let's make a rough water takeoff.
Okay.
We'll go straight ahead. You'll see there's another lake right off the nose.
Okay.
Alright, it's just the next lake over.
Yep.
We'll be on the upwind for that. So as we climb out, we can go all the way up to 500, and we'll make a pattern left or right again, your choice.
Okay.
It's a perfectly round lake, so it really doesn't matter one way or the other.
Roger.
And then as we come around, let's do another rough water landing.
Copy that.
And again, our goal for rough water, I think we probably could have maybe got a little longer flight time.
Yep.
Let's just see how long we can float it, right there off the top of the water.
Roger that.
Alright.
So carb heat is off.
It is.
Alright, our area is clear. Our rudders are up and our sticks full aft.
Excellent.
There we go.
Ready when you are.
Full power.
So rough water takeoff.
Full back.
Somehow the drunk lawnmower made its way to the backyard.
And it's so cute.
Alright, so we got our next lake in sight. Your choice.
I mean, right's gonna be my favorite, but I'm gonna go left.
Alright, cool.
Keep the practice up on those.
Sounds good. We'll do plenty of both. Alright, there's 500.
Come down cruise.
Won't be a factor, it's pretty far away. The only terrain we have in the area to our 1 o'clock, maybe your 2 o'clock, there's a large tower over there. It is over 500 feet tall, so it will be a factor for us. Right. So we'll just avoid that area.
So we are on the upwind, so we're going to go left. This is the lake we're landing on here, so we're going to do our wheel knot. We're going to establish the wind at our tail. Look for our lane.
Alright, so as we come along, some of your good visual references, well, you got plenty of big, nice houses over here.
Yeah, that's
kind of coming, maybe there's this all silver roofed house.
Oh, yeah, see that, baby?
That'll stand out pretty good once you're all the way back around. Airspeed coming on.
Lane clear. Turning base.
Alright, we'll be coming in for another rough water landing, please.
Roger that.
our ground effect. Keep holding us off. Hold us off. Get a little more. Very nice.
All right, we're back on the ground, solid ground, and just first reactions. I love that aircraft. I mean, it is just a beaut. It handles so well, so docile. Having the doors open, wind blowing in your face. I mean, landing on the water has got to be on your bucket list. It has to be on your bucket list. If you're into aviation and you love being on the water, that is the aircraft to be with. The J3 Cub, just a beautiful flying aircraft. And there's one landing right there. They're everywhere. These planes are everywhere out here. It's just a dream come true right here at Jack Brown's Seaplane School. Occasionally, this is how you start a J3 Cub. Let's go flying!
Water rudder's down.
Water rudder's going down.
The carburetor heat is off. Area is clear after that final traffic.
Yep, we're clear.
Water rudders are coming up. Here we go. And Stick Fullback.
Alright, ready when you are. Let that nose come down a little bit more. There you go. That's your step attitude. One foot. Balancing. There's the other. Airborne. Big lake just up here in front of us. Alright, let's set up. And how about a normal water landing?
So we're going to go through Wilton checklist. Do a winter on from the left to the right. So we're going to turn into the wind. Check our lane, make sure it's clear of obstacles.
Alright.
Noise evade. I don't really understand the check, but we're doing it.
Yeah, so what we're saying with noise abatement is primarily on takeoff.
Oh, we're not buzzing.
But yeah, try to get leave some spacing. If you can't clear the houses by about 100 feet, then we'll just turn inside the lake, just like our confined area, right?
Alright. Pattern altitude, what you're saying.
Yeah, we can go over houses and pattern altitude, that's fine.
Alright, so go sandbars, alligators, random long.
There he is, clear. Alright, right traffic. Looks good.
Got a little power out there if you want not.
Yeah, we got that in sight. Alright, carburetor heat's on. And clear right. And work that power back a little more. We're right over the water here. Looking good. Alright, cleared on final. And our landing is assured. Normal water landing, please. Just a little more right rudder, there you go. Yeah, perfect, right into the sun. So let it settle just a little more. Now start your flare. Beautiful. Alright, carb B10, let's go full power.
Full power.
Oh, rough water takes on. Back pressure, looks good. Up the Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Down here, you look at it, looks like a pretty good lake, but if you look across this close end of it, see how those power lines go right across it? That's a big thing you gotta watch out for on smaller lakes like that. And where it goes right over the lake, you know, in the middle of the day, you wouldn't ever see those. They're very hard to see. If you look out to the right, see there's a little hump with a tower on it. That's a box tower. Yeah, that's about as far as we go.
Pretty area.
Yeah, it's real nice down there. Yeah.
That's their point of view.
Yeah. Tallest point in Florida. What's that?
So you don't mind these wings rocking as much as they do?
No. Man, it's normal with a small airplane. We get a lot of little turbulent pockets
said,
there.
If you turn left, you let go of the stick, it stays left.
Right.
I feel like I'm constantly like kind of chasing it. Like, oh, left, right.
Yeah, it takes.
It's not bothering you. That means it's normal.
Yeah, it takes a little counter pressure. It's more so about just making it coordinated. So for example, like I'm on the controls with you, but if I just push the right stick, that kind of tilts and it'll drag over there. See, that's kind of, this is called a slip.
Yeah.
We're falling a little bit. As I bring it back, see how this one's a little crisper?
Yep.
I'm using some rudder.
Right on.
So one you know, practice or training exercise we do, we call them Dutch rolls.
Yep.
But what you do is you try and keep the airplane going in a straight line as you tilt it back and forth. So it coordinates both your stick and your rudder.
Right.
So by that what I mean is if I push it this way,
Yeah.
see how it kind of kicks side to side?
Yep.
So that's very uncoordinated flight.
For sure.
Yeah. Whereas you can keep it nice and level by coordinating the rudder and the stick.
Right.
Alright, so really in this plane, oftentimes to make a turn, like if we make a 90-degree turn to the left,
Yeah.
instead of starting with the stick, just push some left rudder, and it'll come over, and you just use the stick to keep it level.
Right. That's cool.
And then you can kick back out. That makes it just kind of really crisp.
That's cool.
Keeps it coordinated. Airplane really just wants you to show it where you want it to go,
right.
And then it'll kick right over there. Very easy plane to fly. All right, so looking down here, we got a couple little boats out on this lake. Looks like we got a clear area to our right.
Yep.
All right, so how about we set up in this area and let's have a rough water landing, please.
Not bad. So we'll do a right-hand pattern just so the door's open. If you like looking out window.
Yeah, sounds good.
Area and our lane clear. Wind's in front of us. To the left a little bit. Not just coming off the board. So we'll set up. Our crosswind.
Alright. So when you're 90 degrees tip, you see those streaks in the water?
Yep.
You'll see those again as you come around base to final. So we can just line up with those. Treat those kind of like your runways.
Right on.
You remember what wind conditions wind streaks form at?
Alright. You want to go carb heat on?
Carburetor heat's on.
Backing out the power a little bit.
Alright.
We're doing a rough water landing.
Perfect.
So
Let's come back to idle. Nice. So yeah, just like that. What is our ultimate goal?
Keep that prop out of the water.
In our rough water, yep. So one of them's keeping that prop and the tip of the floats up. And then as we come down, we just keep pitching up to get the airplane as slow as we possibly can.
Copy that.
Yeah, as slowly as possible.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you know, rough water, these big waves are just like a bunch of speed bumps.
Right.
So you don't want to hit them going 40 when we can slow it down to 20.
No shot.
Yeah. It's going to be a bumpy ride. All right. All right, we're looking good. How about we'll just do another rough water takeoff out of here.
All right.
And then we'll come around. Once we get up and flying, I'll have you start looking around. We're going to use this lake right here
Okay.
for a simulated glassy water landing.
Roger that.
All right. So once we get up and flying, you'll be shopping for your LVR, your visual reference.
Copy that.
All right.
Carburetor heat is off.
Correct.
Area, let me just check that it's clear. This is what I would do if I'm freaking flying. I can't see over that thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Give yourself some turns.
All right. Area is clear. Water rudders coming up. Water rudders are up. Stick full aft. Here we go. Normal takeoff?
Rough water takeoff, please.
Rough water talk to you. Here we go. Full throttle.
Excellent job. The island or the other one?
The other one, but there was a boat there, so I'm going to turn crosswind real quick to see.
Yeah, the other one over there, that little bit that sticks out, it's probably the best LVR out here.
Yeah, that one, that's where that boat's kind of going.
Yeah, now he's on the downwind side of it, so even though in true glassy water you can land any way you want,
Right.
today we'll try and land into the wind for simulated.
For sure. So I'm going to set up to be like landing where that boat is, so I get my last visual reference, my pitch set before crossing that mark.
Perfect. And on this one we're looking for our 3 Ps, right? So we're looking for pitch, power, patience. Well, what's our power setting going to be?
About 1750 for us, 1850 is pretty good.
Yeah, so it's a minimum 17. So we just come up to that, and then we can modify it or add a little power from there based on what we feel.
So that's 500, come down the cruise.
And there's going to be, I don't know if this is just a really little boat or a canoe or a kayak. It looks like a guy in a kayak.
It is,
But he must have a trolling motor because he's scooting.
Do we choose the island or just give him a show?
We can come over him because we're going to go a little bit past him. So we'll probably be about, 45, 50 feet.
Alright.
And I would stay a little to his left. That'll give yourself the bigger part of that peninsula. Still using the flat area. We don't want to be right over the trees because that's going to give us a higher LVR.
Okay. So no power key on?
Carburetor heat is on.
Go down to south. So left area is clear?
Yeah, clear left. Alright, looking good. Here we're aiming for the biggest part of it. Now aim for the shoreline of it, right where it's glassy. Alright, so I'd come up just a tad. You got plenty of distance to go, so yeah, bring in a little bit of power. Maybe about 2,000 RPM. And this just nice smooth glide, we're aiming short of it, so everything's looking good. We know we're going to come right down to that LVR, have good visual reference. Then as we come down, start working that power back, nice and easy. While you do that, start working that pitch up. Alright, so all the way to idle. Set your landing pitch. Now bring in that power. 1700. We're going to need about, again, 1850 or so with 2 people. Alright, so now just holding that attitude. Lock that in. Feels good and stable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. So now we're just waiting on it. This is the patience part. Alright. Now if you feel like, you know, we're going up at all, which right now we're still going down. But if you feel a little climb, could be a wind gust, could be a little higher on your power setting. There's the water though. And then keep working that stick back. Excellent job. So as we come down on those, you know, you can do little small adjustments on your power. Don't be afraid. It's the pitch that we want to stay fixed.
Okay.
And then your power is just a small adjustment, maybe 50 RPM at a time, based on, well, if we feel like we're going up, going down, whatever you need. Because your conditions will change. Like today, we've got a nice little headwind helping us out. All right. Now, true glassy water, you're not going to have any wind at all. So it'll feel a little different to you. It's early in the morning, so we're flying pretty good today. But later in the day, if it's hot, humid, the airplane's not really going to want to fly near as well. That would require you to make a few more changes in the power. But that one was looking really good. You feel good on that?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, I want to do one again.
Yeah, we're going to do another one. So how about from here, let's have a confined area takeoff. It's just going to be a full 360.
Okay.
And then we'll set up back again. You can do left traffic, right traffic, but I really like that LVR. So we'll come back and shoot it again.
All right, sounds good. So we got our car checklist. We got carburetor heat is off.
It is.
We got our area cleared. We got water rudders coming up now.
All right.
Water rudders are up. And as soon as we do that, we're calling into our wind. We got our ref. No, that's not a step factor.
Yeah, it's just a big circular takeoff. So if the wind's coming, maybe that tower off our wing, what we want to do is start crosswind, and then end up, it's going to be that smooth turn until we're a headwind, right?
Yep.
All right. So stick back, ailerons into the wind. We're going to get it up on the step. There you go, you got it. Keep it coming around left. Just kind of neutralize the rudders. You'll see the airplane will turn on its own. A combination of our left turning tendencies and weather baiting. We want to keep a good airspeed, just a nice, gentle left turn, 360 degrees. Looking good. That white shop right there, that big warehouse building, they build roller coasters. Done. Alright, it's a good look at confined area takeoff. Let's come back around. Again, you can make whichever direction traffic you want. And we'll set up for another glassy water landing, please. Start working that back to cruise power. Good.
Alright, terrible conditions today. It's super glassy. We gotta go put it down right next to that mark.
Alrighty. was actually in this airplane a while back. I was doing an introductory flight.
Yeah.
It was like an hour long, and it was really glassy out, so we weren't doing really any takeoffs and landings. We were just kind of flying around.
Yeah,
Carburetor heat's on. And every now and then your fuel gauges will get stuck in these. And so ours was sitting up just like it is, you know, indicating plenty of fuel.
Yeah.
We're flying around. It had been like 45 minutes. I was trying to figure out how we still had so much fuel.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, you know what, we're gonna do a landing. So we came over into this lake using this LVR and did a glass door landing. As soon as we hit the water, the fuel gauges dropped.
Oh, yeah.
It got unstuck. So that's why we time them and then just kind of using the needle as backup.
That's smart.
So I mean, we were fine. We still had another 45 minutes of fuel left, but yeah, every now and then you don't want to put all your trust in that little cork in a wire.
Cork in a wire, for sure.
Looking good. So even though we're not to our LVR yet, we know we're going to approach it before we get much lower. Let's go ahead and set our pitch. We don't want to run through all this marsh, so pitch is set, bringing that power. There you go, now we can work it back.
Yeah, but I gotta do this by myself, right? I mean, I gotta do another one or something.
Let's go around.
Go around. Like, 'cause, you know, I'm comfortably close, and he's like, get your pitch over that marsh. Every time I get touched on the stick, it's like, alright, well, I'm gonna fail on this fucking thing.
So one thing, the difference between this one and yesterday we were coming over that whole field, right?
Yeah.
This time we're coming over water. So it's a little different because you got water on both sides of your LVR.
Yeah.
Alright. So what you want to do again, just kind of fly the plane. Let's start out a little higher.
Okay.
So we're going to keep 500, but instead of descending earlier, just stay at 500 a little later. Alright, then you'll get more of a descent. What we're trying to do is aim closer to that LVR, so it's less of a kind of dragging it in and more of a bringing it down, if that makes sense. And again, there's no, it's all up to you, as close as you want to be.
But, you know, I wanted to, like, flare, set your pitch, set your power, but I gotta flare over that shit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. You know, you could be 5 feet over it or 50 feet over it. It doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
So just,
Something a little higher.
yeah, just be higher, whatever you're comfortable with. Let's go ahead and bring it back to cruise. So it's really just this extra water on the back side of it that's throwing you off.
I thought that was a stable approach. I thought by the time I was in the marsh, I'd pitch back up,
Yeah, it was good.
flare.
There wasn't anything wrong with it. Alright, so we're looking good. Whatever spacing you want, carbine's on. The only requirement that you have on this is to have your pitch set before you get to the water on the other side.
Okay.
That's what we're focused on. Yep. What are we looking at?
Looking down. I'm looking outside and I'm hitting the same. I'm trying to feel that descent. There's the descent. Keeping it the same. Keeping outside. Eyes outside.
Beautiful. And hold that back pressure. There you go. Absolutely.
Yep. Alright, so that wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay.
Alright. Just like that. Come down to your LVR.
Set my pitch.
And even if, you know, like on the one before that, where we came in, we were a little low, we were still out in front of it.
Yep.
Well, you know that you've got some kind of terrain in front of you.
Right.
Alright. So, as you come down, you say, well, that's probably low enough, even if you're not there yet. It doesn't matter if you're not to it.
Okay.
It's any time, that whole distance of lake.
I'm looking at this shoreline and where the water reaches that, point.
Yep.
And I'm hitting a certain point and I'm keeping that.
Correct.
And that's just giving me a visual reference to say, yes, I'm leveling off.
Yep. So what that is, that's, exactly what we see right here, where the water line intersects the front of the aircraft.
Yeah.
Right. That's our landing attitude. So what we're doing with glassy water is we don't know how high we are, so we're not sure when the airplane's going to land.
Right.
So we want to make sure that the airplane is ready to land at any point, at any time.
Right.
All right. So if we use that LVR and say, okay, well now we're in range of the water.
Right.
That's all we're doing is getting in range, getting somewhere close to the water.
Copy you.
All right. Then we set the airplane. We pull that pitch up and we say, okay, airplane's ready to land now.
Right.
But we've got to be able to maintain that attitude.
Right.
That landing attitude. So in order to do that, we've got to bring in the power to a minimum 17. Because if it's below 17 and we hold that attitude, well, this plane's just going to stall. We'll lose our airspeed and the nose will drop back down. So we need that little extra power in order to maintain that level landing attitude.
Right.
All right. So that's looking good. Let's talk about a glassy water takeoff.
So glassy water takeoff, I don't know if it's, I guess it's recommended to take off near a visual reference or not, so shoreline?
Yeah, shoreline.
Alright, so then you would look at a good lane, a good long lane, because you're going to have 30% more drag on the float. You would, do your car's checklist, full power, give it a little left aileron, try to break that right float free, rotate, stay on step, rotate whenever
Yeah.
ready to come up, 60 knots.
Exactly. So you just give it a little bit of aileron, about 5 degrees, and we just let that float come up.
Yeah.
And then, again, we know that it's going to be a longer takeoff. It's the longest takeoff that we do.
Alright.
All right. So what we're going to do is maybe over toward that tower or just a little to the right of it.
Yeah.
That's going to give us a little bit of crosswind, right?
Right.
Well, we got plenty of texture on the water, so good visibility today. But normally we would line up with some shoreline.
Right.
All right. And then giving ourselves this little bit of crosswind is also going to simulate that glassy water takeoff. It's the same thing. Crosswind, glassy water, we pick up one float,
Yep.
and then the other one comes up right behind it.
Sounds good.
All right.
You want to get on step action?
So what we're going to do is just, you can make that turn either, as you start your takeoff roll. We're going to be just to the right of that tower, and then we're just going to have a glassy water takeoff.
Oh, right. You don't need to get all the way over there. Okay.
Now.
All right.
Now, if we couldn't see the water, we would need that shoreline.
Right.
But today we're just going to simulate the technique. So as long as we know that we'd use a shoreline, we're in good shape.
So run our car checklist. Air carburetor heat is off.
Yep.
Area is clear. Rudders are confirmed up. Stick fullback and into the wind.
All right.
Which is not really into the wind, but glassy water takeoff. Here we go.
Looks good. Right turn, we're going to depart on the downwind. here, we're going straight ahead. Just wing level. We'll keep climbing at 500 feet. Now we've got some nice waves today, right?
Yep.
Alright, so it might be a little bit rough water.
Okay.
Can we still do a rough water with no power?
Coming in hotter, flare longer, and land at the slowest amount of speed?
Yeah, same thing, just hold us off.
Right.
Alright, so let's round it out. Yeah, let it settle. There you go. Hey, look, a window.
Sorry, Cub. Don't be mad at me.
Alrighty, nice job. So you can see there the difference, it still comes down, doesn't really float quite as much
Right.
as when we had that little bump of power.
Man, if we had a GoPro on the tail, I think I'd have lost it.
Remember that little bump of power?
Goes a long way.
Yeah, what that does for us,
that rudder authority.
more aircraft control, yeah. Alright, very nice job. Okay. So let's do, how about another crosswind takeoff?
Oh, you didn't want to sail it back because our power's dead?
I mean, we could sail it back if you want to, but really all it was is we just, thought the engine quit, but we got to restart
Oh,
it.
yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so what was the request?
Let's have a crosswind takeoff.
Crosswind takeoff.
So we use that tower as our heading.
Roger that, roger that. All right. Car's checklist. Carburetor heat is off.
It is.
Our water rudders look like they're up. They are up.
Yep.
Area is clear. Rudder and stick are back. Here we go.
Alright. That's a good little one float balance there.
That was a one float, I felt it. That was pretty rough water.
Yeah, not bad. Now, anytime you're crosswind and you get big waves, you're going to feel them a lot more. Because you're going over more surface area in each individual wave. Yeah, we clear right. Straight ahead of us to our 12 o'clock. As we get over to that lake, it's a very odd weather sensation, but somehow it's gone from very rough over here to perfectly glassy to this next lake. So if you would be so kind as to set us up another glassy water landing. Any LVR on this lake that you want. Yeah, it's not bad. Excellent.
Looking for our full notch so we know the wind's at our tail, so lane is clear. Cruising right down that canal. Alright, no worries about noise. Obstacles are marked.
A couple trees, but we know there's no trees growing out of the canal, so it gives you a good flat approach. Looking good.
No towers, really. I guess we gotta land. I guess we gotta stop flying for a little bit. That looks like a pump station.
How about that?
Carburetor heat is on.
It is on. Area, it is the clear.
Area is clear. What's up, pump house?
That's a big one. Out there in Missouri.
Clear. Final.
Good.
Largest obstruction ahead of us is the tree. We got plenty of altitude. I'll come back up a little bit more. We're doing about 65 knots. Coming right over the top of that canal. My head outside.
That back pressure. Excellent job. Gwen, do you see this? That one didn't throw you off quite as much because there's no water. It's just all terrain.
Sure.
And you come down to the water. Now, the weirdest thing about the last lake that we did, that water, then LVR, then water, is one thing you got to keep in mind. Now, you have your LVR to aim for.
Right.
But on both sides of that are going to be glassy water. So even on your approach, you're not going to really know how high you are.
Okay.
So it's better, just like on that one, just imagine, you know, when you got trees and all that terrain stuff that you can see there, well, you instinctively just stay a little higher above it. You kind of want to do the same thing with bigger lakes at glassy water.
Okay.
Because again, if you
Can
wind
have that mirror effect on both sides.
yeah, if you wind up too low, well, you'll have a hard time telling and judging, but you'll come up to that LVR and then you'll be, you know, right on track to run right through that terrain.
Right.
So some terrain you can, some terrain you can't. All right, looking good. Well, not quite enough room out front for a takeoff.
Yep.
All right, but this puts us in a good position. Let's just kind of neutralize our controls and let the airplane weather vane.
I got water rudders down.
All right, so let's go ahead and pull those up. We're going to find the wind. And we're going to set up for a plow turn.
Copy.
All right, so that's kind of your wind right there.
Yep.
All right.
So, configure the aircraft. We found the wind.
Yep.
Carburetor heat is off.
Yep.
All right. Area is clear. We're going to turn to the right.
Okay.
All right. We got our rudders are confirmed up. Our reference point will be.
Did we want them up?
Oh no. Confirmed. RCARR. Confirmed down.
Yeah. So it's water rudders down, water rudders confirmed down.
Okay.
Because why do we want them down?
to get as much control as possible.
And also
To continue going down and down.
yeah, to hold that downwind heading.
Alright. So this neighborhood's on our right. We'll stop when our neighborhood's on the left.
Okay, just pick one particular point, like one house.
They got a big lighthouse.
Yeah, that works.
Alright, and then power to 23. And crosswind corrections is going to be to the left first, and then reverse that to the right. We're going to reverse weather vane.
Perfect.
You ready?
Let's do it.
23.
So it's full power, then right back to 23. There you go. Alrighty, look good. Yeah, there's two things that were happening there, and what you're feeling on the rudders, well, it's the wind that's going to drive that turn. That's what turning us. But also, as we accelerate, there's all that flow over the rudders. It tries to straighten them out. All that water.
That left one's kind of tight.
Yeah. Now, that one will feel different than the other ones we did yesterday. The reason that left one's pushing on you is because the airplane wants to go left. Especially in the plow, as we give the nose a longer arm.
Yeah.
Well, all of our left turning tendencies, that those forces in play, they come from the torque of the engine and the propeller spinning. So those forces get amplified when we extend the arm from our pivot point. It's just like a hammer. If you hold halfway up on the handle of a hammer, you can't get a whole lot of hitting force. If you hold way down on the handle, you extend the lever or the arm, you get a whole lot more force on it.
Makes sense.
It's the same thing, we're extending the lever to the nose.
Right.
So where those forces in play are, we're giving them a little more control over the airplane.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's set up and do another one. Let's do one to the left this time. You can probably find a pretty good reference point out there.
That giant water tower.
And you'll feel the difference.
Right.
Alright, so let's go ahead, you can turn whichever way you want back into the wind.
Alright, area clear. Our water rudders are confirmed down, carburetor heat's off.
We'll just make an idle turn into the wind.
Oh.
Yeah, we only want to make plow turns upwind to downwind. Just like the step taxi.
Yeah.
Anytime we turn back into the wind, well, that crosswind is going to have a big effect on us. So we want to be as slow as possible.
Right.
All right. So go ahead and get it set up. We got a good reference point.
All right. And again, our water rudders are down. Area is clear. Carburetor heat is off.
Yep.
And we're going to do a left turn to that water tower is pulling on the right.
All right. Looks good.
Full throttle.
That left rudder, it'll help you bring it around the rest of the way. Looking good. Yeah, so even though you're not really, the rudders aren't technically what's driving the turn, you can use all,
Right.
so like left turn, just mash left rudder. Right turn, you just hold right rudder. It's not like, not quite like the step where you got to balance them or kind of finesse them.
Right.
You just stomp it. All right, looking good on those. You feeling pretty good with those?
Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty, so we'll just keep on taxiing straight ahead. Gives ourselves a little bit more room. And we're going to plan for a confined area takeoff out of here.
Alright, that's fun.
It's a good spot for it.
set up with a little left crosswind. Got a lot of headwind once we turn into it, so it should be a bit of a help to get out of here.
Oh yeah. Alright, that's far enough downwind. We'll just go ahead and set up. Get our takeoff started.
Alright, we got our car's checklist. Carburetor heat is off.
Confirmed.
Area is clear. Takeoff area looks good. And then we have our stick. Our rudders are going to come up. Our stick's going to be backing into the wind. We're going to go to full power. We're going to let the wind take us, turn into the wind, take off right, off the left lip.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Ready?
Let's do it.
Water rudder's coming up. Full
Kind of making it big and smooth. There we go. Nice job. If you feel it turning too tight initially, you can give it a little opposite rudder. Again, just kind of help it out. Use it as much lake as you can.
Not sure what that examiner.
What's that?
Not sure what that examiner.
Yeah. Looking good. Now this area right here where the canal is served us really good as an LVR. Yeah. Let's keep coming around until we're upwind. But looking at it, this is a fairly narrow part of the lake. You've got, you know, an extension that comes out here and another extension that comes out here. So it kind of makes the lake a little bit smaller. So one thing that we want to keep in mind with glassy water is we don't know exactly how much runway we're going to need. So as we come in and we round out and we're using our patience, well, it's possible for us to run out of runway. So let's say we came in and we set up on that glassy water. Now it worked out just fine for us, but we did have a little bit of headwind that helped us out. Alright, so maybe we came in and we ran out of space, so we went full power and we came back up. So now we're up and flying. Could you find another part of this lake that you can use as an LVR that might give you a little bit more runway? This field's good. Keep looking straight ahead. We got some there. We still want to be into the wind this direction. But see how it comes around and you got this nice little straight line of weeds and lily pads right there?
Yeah.
That bit makes for a really good LVR, and it's farther back. Gives you a really long runway. So kind of right down here, this little area, go in that direction. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now we're set up and we got cup traffic, 10 o'clock low. What we'll do is we'll give them a wave. So what you do is just kind of rock the airplane back and forth. And they'll wave back at you. Alright, so we're now on a left downwind for that LVR, okay? Yeah. Traffic's clear behind us. It's on. Alright, so roll wings level. They're on their way. We got our LVR in sight. Alright, looks good. Clear on final. power pitch before you cross over the entire LVR.
Alright, high lily pad. Alright, power come back in.
Hold that back pressure. Excellent job.
Not real world though.
So the approach, everything there looked perfect.
Yeah.
It's kind of what you want to do. You kept good forward speed. We cleared the terrain. And you notice that's not a very long LVR. It doesn't give you a whole lot of target area.
So, I mean, I'll talk to you what I did, because you can tell me if it was wrong or right.
Uh-huh.
Alright, so I saw my approach, I saw my LVR, I saw that they're weeds, I saw that they're to the ground. I set my pitch a little bit, and I kind of locked my elbow in and just held that stick kind of where my elbow hit my stomach.
Okay.
I was like, alright, that's it. Powered it like that. And I could feel the sink and kind of gave it, I think, maybe a little bit more bump or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, as much as I used my visual, I kind of stuck that stick and kept that same attitude.
All right. Now, one thing, you know, with constant stick pressure won't always mean constant attitude, because today we've got other factors. We got the wind in play, but also if I keep the stick in the same position we did this yesterday, and I add power, we pitch up. If I pull power back, we nose down.
Right.
All right. So constant stick position doesn't always give you constant attitude. So you will be moving it just a little bit.
Okay.
Now your attitude looked fine. Everything was good on that one.
All right.
All right. As we came down to the water, maybe the only thing that, and don't get me wrong, again, absolutely nothing wrong. That'll pass every time.
Okay.
The only thing on that one is we were right there at 17.
Right.
And if you wanted it to feel any smoother, which it felt good to me, but any smoother, just that extra 100 RPM would have made a big difference.
Okay.
That's all. You want to try that one again?
Sure, why not?
Let's do it. All right, we got plenty of room. How about a rough water takeoff?
All right, so car rate here is off.
Yep.
Area is clear.
Double check. Yeah, we got a couple boats, but they're in the shoreline, no factor.
All right, and our rudders are confirmed up. Throttle is stick back and throttle's rolling in.
Let's do it. Better performance, and it's not in the afternoon.
Alright, well not, looking good. You know what we're doing.
Same thing.
Remember that cup traffic?
Yeah, they're still back on the lake behind us, no factor. Carpeet's on.
Oh, God damn
Yeah. So why we want it on, if you get get carburetor icing,
Right.
it will hinder your aircraft performance. Your engine's not going to run at peak performance.
Right.
Alright, but that doesn't matter at full power or even at cruise.
Okay.
But if we start pulling it back, just like this on a descent, it'll quit.
Yeah.
And you usually don't want your engine to quit downwind to base.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. That's final.
Looking good. Tracking a boat, they're coming from our right to our left. Right now they're no factor, but we're going to keep an eye on them.
I mean, they're going to be a factor. I'll say go around.
Just continue on your approach.
Not bad.
Set your pitch. Boat stop, no factor.
Throttle up.
More back pressure. There you go. Right there. That's your pitch. Looking good. Alright. Very nice. Let's go full power. Normal water takeoff. Excellent. So you still looking for your pitch right here? Try the left side. Because one thing, everything was still really good there. The only difference, we were still right at 17. They're abeam the island, still over that lake.
Yep.
There's a good sized alligator just down below us. Looking for a snack. One more time, and then we're going to switch to a new lake. Okay, bring it back to cruise. Cub in sight at 5 o'clock level, no factor. Alright, so this time as we come down, just kind of talk me through it out loud.
Alright.
Power's to what?
1700.
Where's our power? Alright, so just keep calling. There's 18. 18 feels good. Holding that pitch. There's 1750. There's the water. Still floating though. There's the water again. Excellent. So just like that, I mean, if it helps you, if it's gonna distract you or mess you up, you can keep it to yourself. But it does help me, and it helps a lot of people as you talk through. Just be like, okay, here's my reference. All right, I feel low enough. I'm gonna set my pitch. All right, here's my pitch. All right, here's my power.
Right.
And you're looking at it like this 17 feels too slow. There's 18 feels good. 1750.
Yeah, I still don't fucking get it. I mean, I don't. I'm fine with rough water, so it's hard to imagine.
Right. Yeah, and you won't, for a lot of people, it doesn't really click until you see that glass, but we had a little bit of it yesterday.
Right.
Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of those.
Right, I know there's nothing wrong with it, but like I'm all over the place with pitch, and my eyes, I can't say, oh, I don't see that.
Well, the only difference, I mean, your pitch is going to be bouncing a little bit. It's not going to be any different. You know, you do a rough water, your pitch is going to be bouncing. It's just because of the conditions we have today.
Right.
All right. So, you know, am I looking for, are you going to be able to hold that pitch perfect? No, I'm not either. None of us are.
Right.
And that's just the conditions we have today. It's simulated. We're practicing.
Right.
It's the same thing. All of our confined areas, we usually have plenty of lake.
Sure.
So yeah, don't beat yourself up over it. All we're looking for, and like I said, you know, on the check ride to get you in the right mindset is, it's not, hey, how perfectly can you do this? It's, do you understand the technique?
Yeah.
And you definitely understand the technique.
Right.
All right. So that's looking good. So what we'll do, your choice, any kind of takeoff you want out of here. We'll head back to the west to another lake.
The area's pretty clear. It's pretty short. You want to do a confined takeoff?
Let's do it.
Alright, so we got water rudders up, carburetor heat is off.
Confirmed.
And then we are going to power up, stick full aft, and into the wind. Alright.
Ready when you are. Flap strap, we can retract the gear too. Nice job. And normally we would just make this nice smooth 360, right? Yep. Yeah, this time we're just going to depart on the downwind. Area is clear. Let's head on out, climb to 500, please. Alfred's the one just up there.
Yep.
And then of course this whole town. Oh yeah. They do have a good diner. The Lake Alfred Diner.
There's one of the canals that are left there.
Yeah, so this is still part of the chain. Goes from here to this lake. There's another canal over there. Then there's it's actually a lock system because these couple of lakes right here are higher than the rest of the chain. So you have to go through the locks to get down. It goes to Lake Hartridge, and then over there's the airport, the seaplane base on the far side of it. All that good stuff.
Seaplane out on the water on the golf course.
Out here?
That knows the boat.
Yeah, just a boat. There is at least one other cub up with us. They may be back on Lake Jesse. See one on the water over there. But there will be another one up at some point. I know there's a check ride this morning. This lake just to our left. This is Lake Mariana. Often mispronounced by our foreign students. They're called Lake Marinara. Nice. And we can set up. We're already in good position for a left downwind. We can make left traffic. How about a rough water landing on this lake, please? Lake right here, yep.
Alright, looks like wind from our tail. The largest lane is going to be to our left. Area looks clear. Obstacles being avoided. Any power lines out there. Otherwise, it's pretty good. Carburetor heat is on.
Carburetor heat's on. Heavy swells. Now from the air, is there any way for us to tell whether the waves are 18 inches or not?
White caps.
Well, white caps would help, but we've got some white caps out right now, but not 18-inch waves, right?
No. Oh, it is maybe white caps.
And the best thing is, as you get down here on final, you look at them, you say, are they too big or are they good enough?
Oh, they're way good enough.
Oh, yeah. If they were too big, what would we do?
Go around?
Not necessarily. Just a little bit of power. I'm going to help you out on this one. We extend our landing because the farther upwind we go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And now we're right here in ground effect. You say, okay, now they're good enough, right?
Okay.
All right, so let's work it back to 14. Continue your landing.
That's smart.
Yeah, see, just a little shot of power. They go from being real big to not nearly as big.
Right.
Nice job.
Yeah, the closer you get to that upwind shoreline.
Yeah, so if you get down, you say, oh, yeah, those look pretty
gnarly,
pretty bad. Let's just extend.
Right.
But it's not until you get right down on them that you'll even be able to tell.
Okay.
Because if you go around, well, you're going to get way up, right? But at altitude, we don't have a good sight picture. Hard to see them.
Right.
So all you got to do is just add that little bump of power. So all I did was put it up to 2,000, 2,100. Because remember, on our glassy water, that's our range, 17 to 2,000. Anything above 2,000, and the plane can just keep flying.
Right.
All right. So now what we're going to do, if you look to our 1 o'clock, or 2 o'clock, you'll see a dock with a silver roof.
Yep.
All right. So let's have a little step taxi. We're going to start out, we can start out into the wind or just kind of that way, but we're going to come around to the right.
Okay.
And bring us over to that dock with the silver roof, please.
All right. Alright, just make sure area's clear real quick.
There we go. I got one boat out here, 10 o'clock, no factor.
Alright,
No, nobody else to our immediate right.
Let's start off into the wind. Car rate heat's off.
Confirm.
Area's clear. Stick fullback. And our water rudders are up.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Let's go. All the way back to 2,000. Coming back. We don't want to fly. There we go. The tighter we turn, there you go, more drag we're going to have. There we go. Pretty good. Alright, so there's our target dock. Come to idle. Nice. Now obviously we can't do much with that dock because it's got a big roof and tall poles.
Right.
This dock just to the right of it, we can dock there, right?
Yep.
Alright, so what do we need first? What's
2 feet
happening?
of water.
Well, what's happening right now?
We're drifting because we're going, water rudders. But I don't want to stick them in this grass.
It's fine, no factor. You'll just push
Okay,
push it out of the way.
So I was worried with about 2 feet in the grass. Alright, so now we're
Now these
doing
are
a big pattern, which
Yeah.
we're a little tight right now.
we're good. Yeah, these are a weird type of lakeweed. It's actually still about 8 feet deep here.
Okay.
This is like seagrass.
Hydrilla. Crazy.
Yeah, nasty.
So yeah, we got our water rudders down, and we want to make sure that we are going to clear the dock with no poles, which it looks like we would.
Yeah, it looks good.
Looks fine.
So then as soon as we decide, yeah, we're going to dock.
Yeah.
Hatch open,
Hatch up, 3 H's.
harness off, headset off.
Yeah.
Alright, good to turn on base to final. Because what's our wind doing?
It's coming from my left to right.
Yeah, so we're going to be docking into the wind, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's going to help slow us down, and we'll have no problem making this turn because weather vaning.
Right. Got a seaplane coming in your backyard, block.
They're pretty used to it. This house belongs to Steve McCaughey. He's the president of the Seaplane Pilots Association.
Is he really?
So sometimes we can't even dock here because there's already a seaplane here.
Huh.
But he's out of town right now.
Alright. So we would start slowing us down by mags and then carpet.
Yeah.
You want to go?
We'll just talk about it.
Alright.
Yeah, so mags 1, carpet's on.
We're slowing down. You know, if we're coming in a little hot, we could have you jump out on the float.
Yep.
And then kill it right here.
Yeah, now into the wind, it's going to slow down a lot faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, just anywhere in this range, 1 float width, us in the dock, looks good. All right. Well, we're not actually going to dock here because Steve's out of town.
Taxi.
So looking back, tail's clear.
Tail is clear.
Now we can turn away. Excellent. All righty. Feel good on that?
Yep.
All right. So let me just kind of talk you through real quick what you can expect on your check ride.
Right.
All right. So you need to know a normal water takeoff and a normal water landing.
Okay.
Rough water takeoff, rough water landing.
Right.
Glassy water takeoff, glassy water landing.
Yep.
Crosswind takeoff, crosswind landing.
Yep.
Confined area takeoff.
Yep.
An emergency or engine out landing.
Okay.
All right. Then on the water, you got an idle taxi. Just know when to put the rudders down, when to pick them up.
Yep.
All right. So as soon as you leave the ramp, what are you going to do?
Put the rudders down.
Yeah. As soon as you come into dock, what are you going to do?
Pull them up.
When you come into dock, if you're docking.
Put them down.
Yeah. Anytime you want to maneuver.
I thought about the ramp.
Yeah. Then
Step taxi.
you got idle taxi, step taxi.
Plow turn.
Plow turn.
Plow turn.
Sailing, docking, and ramping.
Sailing, docking, and ramping.
So let's talk about sailing for a minute.
Power on sailing.
Yeah, if we wanted to sail to that dock right there.
Right rudder opposite stick.
Yep. Will we sail with the rudders up or down?
Good question. I would say up.
Yeah. It's kind of backwards to what you might think because you're still maneuvering on the water, right?
Right.
But what is power off sailing?
Backwards.
Drifting backwards. If we have the rudders down, it adds drag, slows us down.
Power on sailing is with rudders?
No, any kind of sailing's power off.
Okay.
Or any kind of sailing's rudders up. Power on or power off.
Okay.
But, yeah, just kind of we'll talk through. So, control inputs for power on left.
Control inputs for power on left.
Yep, power on right.
Power on right.
Power off left.
Power off left is the same.
Power off right. Perfect. So you got any questions on anything?
Not necessarily.
Anything else you want to practice some more?
Nope.
You sure?
Pretty good.
All right. I mean, you're looking good, but it's up to you. You feel ready to go?
Yeah, I'm pretty solid.
All right.
I mean, I just want to fly this thing for the rest of my life, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Cool. Well, I mean, you can get your CFI and do what I do.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. All right. Well, we're gonna shoot. We're gonna do one more glassy.
Holy biplane.
Yeah, that's the steerman. They keep it on the kind of opposite side of the airport from the base.
Right. Yeah, it's all Tanger. So glassy.
Yeah, we're gonna do one more glassy water. It's on the next lake over. I want you to see this LVR.
Okay. So glassy takeoff, glassy.
Let's just do a. This little area is good for confined area takeoff.
All right.
So we can follow the shoreline, right?
Yeah.
This is the closest you're gonna get, you know, an actual confined, just right here next to the shore. All right.
Car's checklist. Carburetor heat is off.
It is.
Our area is pretty clear. Our rudders are coming up. Our stick is full back and into the wind whenever it needs to be.
Ready when you are.
We are good to go.
A little more aileron for me. There you go. Alright, so see how you got shoreline here. Just keep that turn nice and big. Now we can start coming a little left. That one float will help us out. Beautiful. This thing will really get up and go when you let it.
So give me a crosswind takeoff, in all honesty.
Sure.
I thought you were like starting crosswind and going to the headwind and takeoff. So yeah, in all honesty, it's just maximum amount.
Yeah, that is ideal. So if you've got a bigger area like this, there's nothing wrong with taking off crosswind.
Right.
Alright. However, your maximum performance in the smallest area that this airplane can take off in will be into the wind. So like if I put you in one of these lakes, yeah, I mean you're really going to be turning, but you don't have a choice because there's no more lake, right? Alright. Let's head for Lake Alfred. Make a turn to the right. On this lake, the way the wind's coming in, this is another good LVR.
Yeah.
Right there. Alright. So you want to set up, do a landing on it?
Sounds good.
Alright, let's make right traffic, please. We don't like... Yeah, I got them in sight. We don't like left traffic to this LVR. We can just ride over that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But right traffic is just fine. Yeah, clear right. A little more rudder. Let's really whip it around. Have some fun with it. Yeehaw! Not for you? It'll do it.
Yeah, it also spins sometimes.
Yeah, they can. Now on floats,
Now what you're responsible for your life.
that's why I'm here. So we still got the kayak in sight. We've got a nice little peninsula right here. Alright, so everything's looking good. Carburetor heat coming on. Clear right. Band of weeds, kind of the thick area.
Yeah.
You treat that as like the inside edge of that, so that's kind of what you want to aim for. Now that kayak's going to be right in our way, so we're going to go mist on this one. But just kind of bring it down to that LBR and get a look at how this sets up. Alright, so you can work it back. Just like that. That looked good. Alright, carb feet's in, let's go full power. It's all missed. Yeah, ramming speed. Like you're not getting me airplane. Alright, that one looked pretty good. I just wanted you to see that LDR. That's another option for you on this lake. Alright. Now today, with the wind the way it is, over here along the shoreline as well. All that would bring you, right down parallel to it. Alright. What's that? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, our blinkers are off. You feeling good? Yep. You ready to go? You stoked? Alright, let's do it. Seaplane base is here at 2 o'clock. You can see the water tower with a small lake just in front of the red white water tower. We know the wind's coming from this direction. So if you kind of head straight towards the base, we can set up for left traffic. Yeah, got them in sight. Closing around.
Got traffic on our right as well. Looks like going in for final.
Yeah, they're turning left base to final for 1-1. You want to try out your selfie stick, any?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Alright, I'll go ahead and take the airplane. I got it. locked up. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and make a right turn for the downwind. Alright, whenever you're ready, you can take the airplane. Get flight control. And again, we're just going to go right around the trailer park. But as long as we clear the trailer park, bring it right back into Lake Jesse. Alrighty. Alright. Area is clear, no other traffic, final RV coming home.
No other traffic.
Imaginary radio calls. There's a little ultralight taking off.
Yep, that visual.
It's like a drifter or something. Right on, but you don't want to be goofing off on the runway, you know, put it in the water.
That's for sure.
Alright, looking good. Bounce and planted. Nice. Well, looks like our ramps are a little clogged up right now.
Oh, like Cub traffic, huh?
Yep. Look at them all.
Like little bays.
That means all 5 of them are out today. It's not often you get that.
Dang, look at that little fighter thing coming in hot. What is he doing? Cutting the pattern.
Yeah, he's trying to shortcut the wheeled cup.
That guy on about?
Well, he's not landing because he doesn't have any wheels.
Oh, he's not, yeah.
He's just transitioning, probably crossing over. Alright, well we got this one right here on the ramp started up.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll expect them to
depart.
Yeah, come out towards us. So let's just keep on going. We'll get upwind of them, and then we'll come back around for our parking.
Look how skinny that cabin is. Woo.
Yeah, they're tiny. Really fit.
They're like little cobras.
Yeah, it's really funny. I mean, in it, you don't really feel like it, but
know,
when
right?
you look at another one, it's such a tiny airplane.
The profile is insane.
Alright. They must have had one run away. They got the kayak out. Well, it looks like they're going to launch the other one. I don't know exactly what's going on, but Jonathan's walking to the beach,
yeah,
which is our yard, so that's where we're going to park. See the kind of purple tree?
Yep.
Just kind of head towards it. This will be some beaching. Alright, now we're done flying, ready to come in and park.
Hatches.
So hatch, harness, headsets, looking good.
You can see where Jonathan's standing.
Yeah.
He's in the tie down, so we're just gonna aim for him. Stand by to shut down.
Stand by for shutdown.
And about this second window, the
Yeah.
one with the weird shapes, go ahead and kill it. Nice.
Water rower, stay down.
Brace for impact. Oh man. Yep, we can go ahead and pick those up. Alright, so intercom's off, bag's off. Rudder's up.
Another good day, another good day. Let's just try not to drop this thing in the water again.
Yeah, man. So we went up, you did a little bit of air work. We also focused on our takeoffs and landings. We've got our rough water, normal water, glassy water, the different types of maneuvers that you'll see and experience when you're out flying a seaplane. So everything's looking really good. Your flying's great. So after our debrief now, you're ready to go on your check ride. Hopefully you'll come back a single engine C rated pilot. All right, good luck. Congratulations, man.
Now, unfortunately, they don't allow you to bring a GoPro on board and film your check ride, so I couldn't bring you along. But let's just say I did my best, and I passed. Alright, that's a wrap for me at Jack Brown Seaplane School. There it is, the newest seaplane pilot in America. Thanks, Drew, and all you guys at Jack Seaplane for helping me out. This is just a huge milestone in my aviation career, and I can't wait to start flying that ultralight that Nick just bought. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Oh yeah, and these, we're not gonna need them where I'm going.